just get in the game, you stay in the game. Nothing unless you play in the game. You get love for it, you get hate for it. You get nothing if you wait for it, wait for it.
Cecilia, you're breaking my heart. You're shaking my confidence daily. Oh Cecilia, I'm down on my knees. I'm begging you please to come home. So come home.
Hello everyone and welcome back to my third attempt at filming this video. It's just gone so wrong. I looked horrible the first time I filmed it. The second time I filmed it, the lighting was terrible. And there's probably going to be a problem with this too, but I don't care, it's going up. For today's video, I thought I would do a what is in my travel bag video. So in terms of a travel bag, I am talking about an in-flight hand luggage bag. So a bag that you take with you when you fly, when you go on holiday. And just to give you a bit of context, I am going on holiday with my family on Saturday, so the day after tomorrow, so the day after the day that I film this. God, I don't know why I need to say that. And I'm nervous because obviously there's a global pandemic at the moment. We are flying to Corfu and, you know, obviously it's a little bit of a risk for me as a transplant patient, and many of you might be wondering, why the hell are you doing that? Along with my family, who always do the utmost to protect me, I have decided that I want to do this. I want to risk flying in order to have a holiday this year. It's coming up to my 21st birthday, which will be on Tuesday. So I would absolutely love to spend it in Corfu. We do go to Corfu every year now for about 7 or 8 years. We're going to be staying with friends, so we know that we're going to a safe and clean accommodation. It's just the flight there which is the biggest risk. Therefore, I thought I would do a little bit of a video with you just showing you what I'm going to bring in my hand luggage, both in terms of what I would bring as a kidney and heart transplant patient, but what I am also bringing that I hope will help protect me from exposure to coronavirus on the way to Corfu. So let's get into it. Other than, you know, a book, my phone, my purse, my Nintendo Switch and headphones and things like that, I won't be going through that because those are really obvious and everybody always has those with them. I will be talking about the things that are especially relevant to me and my condition and to coronavirus. The first thing I always carry with me when I'm traveling is this. And this is basically a travel purse. And in it I usually keep my passport, which is not in it at the moment. It will need to be put in there. My boarding pass and things like that. But also some important information about my conditions, so the fact that I've had a transplant or two, and the drugs that I'm on and things like that. In here you will find a card like this. Well, you will find this card and it's got a list of my conditions and also the medications that I'm on. And on the back it actually has emergency contact details, so my father's number and my mother's number, and then also the number of the hospital who treat me for my heart transplant. If there was an emergency, we would hope that someone would check, you know, my belongings and things. Especially if I'm on my own, it's not too bad being with my parents, but if I'm traveling alone, this is really important to have on me. The second thing in here is just some doctor's letters detailing all the conditions that I have in a bit more scientific-y, detail-y way. So if I was admitted to hospital in another country, I could hopefully give these and it would give the doctors there a bit more of an idea of my history. And also medication list, which has grown extensively actually since these letters were written. So those do need to be updated. Last of all is my pacemaker card. This is really important as well. You may know that if you have a pacemaker, you can't go through the metal detectors in an airport security, because there is a chance that it could set off your pacemaker, or, you know, reset it, or just mess about with it because of the magnetic field. We are each given a pacemaker ID card which we can show at security, and they'll like take us around a little gate so that we don't have to go through the scanner. This is important so that I can legitimise the fact that I have a pacemaker and that I'm not just trying to sneak through security without going through the metal detector. So that's what's in my little travel purse, which I will always have with me when I'm travelling. The second thing that I will always keep in my hand luggage are my medications. And I take a lot of meds, but I like to keep them all in my hand luggage, because if there's a chance that my suitcase went missing or got sent to the wrong location or got, you know, broken into, I could be left without meds in a foreign country. And immunosuppressants, which are the meds that I take every day, keep me alive. 2 or 3 days without them and it can seriously damage my heart and kidneys and potentially lead to death. So I need my medicines, and it would be a disaster if I didn't have them, which is why I like to keep them on me. So I have a case where I've basically taken all of the pills out of their packets and put them in here, which is way easier. So they're in their doses. This is 1 week's worth. So you've got the morning dose, and then the afternoon, well, the evening dose. And I have another one of these which is also full, which I'll be bringing with me, so that's about 2 weeks worth. And then I also have a big case full of extras of everything, so that if we were to get stuck in Corfu, it wouldn't be a problem for me in terms of medication, because I would have hopefully enough spares with me to last. So altogether, I have about a month's worth of medication. This will all be coming in my hand luggage with me. It just basically includes everything that I might need for every possibility, and these will be with me all the time, so they're safe. Thirdly, I will be bringing this water bottle, or a water bottle, whatever. Obviously you can't take it full of water through security because they don't let you take liquids through. But what I'm going to do is, once we get through to the terminal, either fill it up at a water tap. I'm not actually sure if they have them at Gatwick, I'll have to see. And if not, buy a bottle of water and decant it. Because of coronavirus, I don't want to be drinking from a bottle that I got off a shelf. So hopefully I can decant it safely, maybe with gloves on. Yeah, that's why I wanted to bring my own water bottle to drink out of, because I think it's cleaner, it's safer. And also it keeps cold for ages, so another benefit. The fourth thing that I would always have with me is probably not something that you would think of bringing in your hand luggage, maybe in your suitcase but not your hand luggage, is either a hat or a bandana or a headscarf. And that is because the drugs that I'm on make my skin really thin and vulnerable to sun, vulnerable to sunburn and skin cancer, and that includes the skin on my head. And I found recently that as soon as I go into the sun, my scalp is burnt, and it's really annoying and it really hurts. So I have to keep a hat with me so that as soon as we touch down in Greece, I can protect my poor scalp from being burnt to death. I always make sure that I've got something to serve that purpose, whether it be a hat or a headscarf, or maybe both together, or one or the other, you know, whatever. But definitely a very important thing for me. The next few items are things that I wouldn't usually bring with me on holiday, but you know, the environment has changed, the world has changed due to COVID-19, and we're all having to take extra precautions and do extra things that we wouldn't usually have to do to protect ourselves. And as I said, I'm going to go to every length I can to be safe on this airplane. So here are a few things that are hopefully going to help me do that. Firstly, and most obviously, is a mask. Everybody's got to wear a mask on public transport now, but I'm very lucky that I have a filter mask which are slightly more protective than like paper masks, like surgical masks. So I'm going to be wearing this the whole entire flight. They're not comfortable. It's really tight. You know what? I'm happy to put up with it. Second to that, I will also be wearing this, which is a face shield. So it'll be like this. They're now coming out and saying that face shields are really helpful in protecting against coronavirus because you can catch it through your eyes. So I'll be wearing this and this, and hopefully, is there a scratch on that? No, it's on the plastic. I'll be wearing this and this the entire flight. It won't be comfortable. I'll look like an idiot, but I don't care because it's going to protect me. But we have more. Hand gel, a must for everybody. I'm sure that everybody has got hand gel with them at all times at the moment. And this is antiviral. We found it in Boots. As we obviously know, coronavirus is a virus. So hopefully this gives us a little bit more protection against corona than like a normal antibacterial one. So definitely hand sanitizer. I'll be using these a lot, which is why we have so many. There's like 50 lying around the house. We go through them so quickly. Next, gloves. I'm not going to be taking this big huge box of gloves with me in my bag. I'm going to take a few pairs of gloves with me. Gloves aren't useful if you wear them all the time. There's no point in wearing them all the time. I'll definitely wear them in certain situations, perhaps when using toilets if I need to and things like that, because if you use them the right way they can be really protective. And luckily, having spent so long in hospitals, so much of my life in hospitals, my family and I are quite clued up on the right way to use like gloves and antiseptics and all that kind of thing. So I'll definitely have a few of these with me, and I know my parents will as well. I've got a big pile of stuff building up here. And finally, the last thing that I hope is going to help protect me, antibacterial wipes. Once again, a must for everybody. I'm sure so many people have these lying around. They're as with the hand gel, there are hundreds all over our house. We go through these so quickly. These ones are antibacterial as well. I think they sell them in Sainsbury's and Lidl and places like that. They're really good. They smell so potent. It's almost like you can smell that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. They smell like a hospital basically. I'm going to use these to wipe down every single surface that I come into contact with on that journey. By the time we get to Corfu, these will probably be empty. I will have used them all. That includes wiping the tray table on the plane, the armrests, anything plasticky that I have to touch, any surfaces. If we eat, you know, these are going to be so handy and they're going to be used so much. I think if you're thinking of traveling, definitely get some wipes. So hopefully with the mask, the visor, the antibacterial wipes, the antiviral hand gel and the gloves, I'm doing everything I really can to protect myself from the virus on this journey, which I have decided to embark on despite being immunocompromised. Touch wood, I don't live to regret that decision. We'll see. Anyway, that was my video for today. Just a quick, simple kind of what's in my bag, coronavirus / transplant edition. And I hope you enjoyed it. I will keep you updated with the whole going on holiday during a pandemic situation and see how it goes. So we're seizing the opportunity when the rates aren't too bad. We're gonna go on holiday and hopefully we're gonna keep safe, and I will let you know. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye! Bye! Oh, please say that was the last time I had to film that.
Oh, Cecilia, I'm down on my knees. I'm begging.